Mergem în zona economicului acum. FMI recomandă introducerea impozitului progresiv pe salarii. O variantă ar fi ca impozitul progresiv să fie aplicat chiar și de anul viitor dacă statul român ar fi pregătit și ar elimina întâi din facilitățile fiscale pentru sectoare precum IT, cercetare sau construcții, care acum sunt scutite de impozit pe venit sau contribuții la sănătate și pensii. Asta a declarat șeful misiunii FMI. Cum ar putea să fie aplicat acest impozit? Vedem într-un interviu în exclusivitate pentru Antena 3, realizat de Gina Vacariu.
Do you think Romanian government will have to increase taxes this year?
There have to be changes in the tax system.
What kind of changes?
What we recommend is that the tax system becomes more clean, in the sense that now there are many exemptions for certain sectors, there are loopholes for certain groups, there are special treatments for certain groups, and our main recommendation when it comes to the tax system is to remove many of those special treatments to make the system more simple, more clean, and to make sure that everybody is expected to pay their fair share of taxes.
And after that?
That would greatly improve tax collection, because a simpler system is also easier to collect. And if everybody is expected to pay and cannot benefit from those loopholes, that directly increases tax revenues. So that is our main recommendation on the tax system. And if all our recommendations were to be implemented, that would actually be sufficient to reduce the level of the deficit over time to less than 3%. You can choose to have a progressive tax, and we see some arguments why you might want to choose for a progressive tax, because it can generate additional revenue and put the burden of those revenues on those who can afford it the most. Keeping in mind that Romania is a country with a relatively unequal distribution of income to begin with. So we see advantages to having a progressive tax. That's a choice to be made. It is also a change that would require some time to prepare, because the tax collectors have to prepare the systems to collect a progressive taxation system that is a bit different from collecting each source individually. So in terms of feasibility, it might take some extra time. That is a more practical decision.
How could this progressive tax work in Romania?
So with a progressive tax, what happens is that you add up all the types of income that a person or a household has, and if that income is relatively high, you would fall in a category with a higher tax rate on the top level of income. That can be designed in different ways. If you look across the world at countries that have progressive tax systems, which is very common to have,
like Italy, Spain,
you see different designs. But it is also, for example, possible to only have the higher tax rates at the top of the income distribution, so that only the people who have incomes that are well above average are affected by it, whereas the large majority of the people could still have the same flat tax.